Hello, my name is Emma Thuix, and my art history final project is the north and south windows of Notre Dame, Paris, France. What are the windows made from, and how are they made? They are made out of different colored glass with hot temperatures that change the design to make it more of an image. The windows have strong webs of stone that break the glass into smaller shapes in a symmetrical way. These shapes are then broken down into different pieces and are heated up into different temperatures based on the different colors. Then they would add details from impurities, like bubbles in the cooled glass and different thicknesses of cut panels that would be contributed to the jewel-like quality. The glass was then heated again for the final finished look. Are the north and south windows the same? Other than the obvious reason, one being north and one being south, there isn't a whole lot different between the two. The north window is actually a little larger than the south window. The north window is 13.1 meters in diameter, while the south window is only about 2.9 meters. There is a west window that is even smaller than the south, but is mostly covered by the Oregon. The north window center is depicting Christ and is surrounded by 4 circles. Below the rose is 16 spear-shaped windows, going along with the theme of the number 4, where 16 square root is 4. The south window is structured the same. The center is more focused on the rose and the Old Testament. History of the windows. The windows were created in the church Notre Dame in Paris, France. It was designed by Jean de Chelles and Pere de Montreal. They considered a jewel in the crown one of the most well-known Gothic masterpieces in the world. The circular shape was made with ideas from Roman mosaic and are found in Roman aculeus. They were made in 1260 in the 13th century and were a gift from King St. Louis. Why were they created? The South Rose in Notre Dame is one of the best masterpieces in Christendom. It is dedicated to the New Testament in the Bible. It also represents the new life of Jesus, with Mary holding a baby at the center of the South Rose. The windows are transparent, so they brought more light into the church when they had their services. The rose symbolizes the triumph of Christ sitting in heaven, surrounded by those who have witnessed on earth. What has happened to them since they were created? The rose has suffered much damage during the centuries. It was restored between 1725 and 1727 by Guillaume Brice, led by Bouffrad. However, it was poorly executed. During the 1830 Revolution, there was a lot of damage to the roses. This led the need to fixing them again in 1861 by Viollet-le-Duc. Lastly, Alfred rotated them 15 degrees to give a vertical and horizontal axis, adding a stone lace later on. What do they mean? It included 84 panels spread over 4 circles. The first contains 12 medallions, while the north has 16. The second had 24. A third circle is formed by 12. While the fourth circle is punctuated by 24 medallions, 4 is a symbolic number, and then it can be multiplied, 12 and 24. You can see 20 angels in the fourth circle with a candle, and 2 crowns on all of them. Total. The New and Old Testament scenes in the third and fourth circles are the flight into Egypt, the healing of Pelatric, and the second one, the judgment of Solomon. Also in the third circle, 1 in the fourth, is a series of 9 scenes of the life of St. Matthew. At the ends, the 2 spandrels are 1. The descent into hell, surrounded by Moses and Aaron, and the temptation of Adam and Eve, and 2. The resurrection of Christ with St. Peter and St. Paul, and also St. John. Under the rose are 16 prophets represented in large windows of clerestory, painted in the 19th century by Alfred Guerente. At the center of the four great prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel, carry on their shoulders the four evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It is the link between the New and the Old Testament. Now, why do I find them so interesting? I personally feel that they are very beautiful and aesthetically pleasing to look at. The history of stained glass church windows has always been interesting to me. They all have meanings with different pictures. It's like they're telling their own story. I think stained glass windows are very unappreciated. They are very hard to make, and they heat each individual piece and link them together while trying to tell a story. And to me, that just blows my mind. I was able to see the north and south rows in person, and they are honestly so big and bright, and they were absolutely amazing. I really think that seeing the Notre Dame Church in Paris, France is something that everyone should look at. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you guys learned something about it. Thank you.